if you're a male over the age of 30 and you're struggling with fat loss, this video is for you, okay? In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what you're not doing, what you should be doing, and how easy fat loss can be. What's up, guys? Hey, welcome to the video. Listen, if you're new to me, my name is Kyle Settles, and I've been in the fitness industry now for over a decade, okay? At one point in my life, I was 100 pounds overweight. So I know how you may feel, okay? Listen, it took 2 DUIs and 6 months house arrest for me to finally wake up and show you exactly how easy it is to change, okay? So let's get into this, okay? Now listen, before we get started, if you want more information, if you want to join a badass community down below, hey, the link's there for you. Go check it out, okay? Now let's get into this. Listen, 75%, you're already doing 75% of what you need to do every single day, and you probably don't even know it to lose weight. You're already doing 75% of it, okay? There's only 4 things that you need to focus on, guys, okay? Number 1 is food. Let's talk about food for a second, okay? Calories in, calories out. You hear this all the time, and depending on who you're talking to, right, there's polarity, there's paradox in everything. There's a good way to look at it and a bad way to look at it. But listen, guys, if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not gonna lose weight, okay? If you overspend your calories, the energy has to go somewhere. It goes to our face, it goes to our stomachs. We store the body fat for energy later, okay? It's just like spending money. You eat every day and you spend money every day. You just don't understand how many calories you're actually consuming. Most people are doing things blindly. They'll track for a couple days, or they'll track for a week, or they're not tracking at all, okay? And what'll happen is you'll start cutting out food groups, okay? You'll start starving yourself. You'll start doing unrealistic things, and you don't have to do that, guys. If you're blind to what you're doing or what you're consuming, how can you ever change anything or learn anything? You can't. Listen, guys, you gotta start tracking your food. MyFitnessPal, Cal AI, write it down. It's so easy. It's just uncomfortable right now. Everything that you do in life at first is uncomfortable. Until you get enough repetitions, then it becomes easy. And listen, guys, it is easier to track your food than it is to text. Literally, there is so many apps out there that make it so easy to take pictures of it. You can log a week in advance. You can copy and paste. It's stupid simple. And listen, guys, even if you don't want to do all of that, you can simply reallocate your grocery money to a meal prep service and have it delivered to your front door. There's literally no excuses, okay? You eat every single day. You just got to stop doing it blindly. Number 2, cardio. I like to play a game with this, okay? Once I learned that whether I walked a mile or ran a mile or jogged a mile or crawled a mile, I'm basically burning the same amount of calories. It completely changed everything. And listen, I was that guy doing an hour or 2 of Stairmaster at the gym or running around the block. I would get motivated watching a movie or listening to music or whatever, and then I would go do these unrealistic things. There's nothing wrong with cardio and stair stepping. Those are great tools. But listen, simply tracking your steps will change the game. Listen, most of our calorie burn comes from our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT, right? It's how much movement you're moving throughout the day. It can make up to 55% of your total calorie burn. The problem is most people just don't move. Most people are sitting all day. The average person only moves a couple thousand steps a day. So if you can just play a game with yourself, start tracking your food and start tracking your steps. Use your phone, use your Apple Watch, Fitbit, whatever, and just simply go for a walk, easy walk. YouTube, learn, plug into a video, do your team calls or your Zoom calls on the phone. Take your dog, take your girlfriend, take your friend. Just simply move more. It will completely change your life. I promise you. Protein. You already eat protein every single day. You need to make sure that you're eating enough protein to maintain your lean body mass or to build muscle. The last thing you want to do, guys, is just lose weight, right? We can lose weight through water, through poop, through fat, and through muscle. And what happens is a lot of people will lose just weight because they're doing everything blindly. They lose a lot of weight and they become skinny fat, where they are just a smaller version of themselves, okay? Protein is the building blocks to your muscle, right? If you're gonna build a house, you need wood, right? If you're gonna build muscle or maintain muscle, you need protein. So simply tracking your protein, if you don't know how much protein you should have, make sure you guys check out my channel. So many people overcomplicate this and argue about it on the internet instead of just doing it, right? You need roughly 1 gram per pound of your goal weight, okay? Not your weight right now. When I was 300 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, I didn't need 300 grams of protein. Could I eaten 300 grams? Yes, I could have, right? I would have been fuller, maybe more satiated, maybe even eaten less by eating that much protein, but I didn't need that much protein. I needed roughly around 190 to 200 grams of protein, which was my goal weight, guys. We got to stop overcomplicating this. And what happens is we chef hop. There's too many chefs in the kitchen. You got to stay focused on one chef, one person. There's thousands of ways to skin the cat. There's thousands of ways to lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit. But if we keep chef hopping, trainer hopping, YouTube hopping, doing all of these things, you're never going to get anywhere because one trainer, one person, one doctor is saying the opposite of the other. You need to get in a calorie deficit and you need an easy, simple, repeatable system so that you can be consistent, okay? Stop cutting out food groups and doing all of these astronomical, unrealistic things, guys, okay? And then the last thing is, this is the 25% that you may not be doing, okay? And if you want to lose weight, I'm sure your goals, right? If you're a person watching this, you're probably not confident in yourself. You're probably new to fitness maybe. You're maybe on your fitness journey and you're struggling, okay? But you probably don't like the way your clothes fit. You probably don't feel comfortable taking off your shirt. You probably just don't feel confident. You may be struggling to do certain movements or you may be struggling to bend over to tie your shoe like I once was. Listen, but either way, you're in pain, okay? And the way to change that pain is to take action. But we've got to come to an understanding that this is way easier than you may think. We got to block all the noise, cut the bullshit out, cut all the noise and just keep things simple. 4 simple things. Track your food, track your steps, track your protein, strength train at least 3 times a week, guys. Upper, lower, and then a full body. Work out, take 2 days off, work out again. It doesn't matter. You just got to get started and you got to make sure that you have progressive overload when you strength train. Okay, focus always on good form first. And then through time, over time, weeks or months, you want to make sure that you're progressively overloading, getting stronger, adding more repetition, adding more time, adding more sets, guys. Right? That's the whole point. So that when we do lose weight, we look good. We're not just a smaller, skinnier, fat version of ourselves, right? When we take the clothes off, the layers, the turtleneck, the sweaters, we actually have some shape, okay? And more than just aesthetics, longevity, right? If you're a man watching this, you want to be strong. You want to be able to help your friends, your family, your wife out. You want to be strong, especially as you age, right? There's more to it than just aesthetics, but when you look good and you're strong and you're lean, it will change everything in your life. Everything is a reflection of you. And if you get better, right, by distracting the noise and distracting the bullshit, keeping this damn thing simple, if you can track these 4 things, it will change your life. And listen, if you want more details, make sure you guys check out my last video, okay? I'll make sure I link it to this one to where I really break down exactly how to figure all this stuff out. And it's stupid simple, guys. My goal is to give you all the answers so that you can do it yourself. Because there's only 3 things that you can do. You can do it yourself, number 1. Number 2, you can have someone do it with you, right? Where you invest your money, okay? Or you pay for a coach, a trainer, some accountability, which we'll talk about in another video. It's everything. And number 3, you don't do anything at all and you stay the same. You already know the results. So remember those 3 things. That's all you have. You can do it yourself, okay? Or you can have someone do it with you, or don't do anything at all. So these are the 4 things that we got to focus on. Now, before I end this video, I want to talk about 2 things on the mindset side because this is where everyone goes wrong. Oh, he's talking about mindset. Oh, that's just bullshit. No, mindset is more than just motivation. Motivation wears off, okay? Wears off very quick and then we end up going back to our old habits, right? We as human beings, 95% of us, we're just one big habit, guys. We're one big habit. So how do we change our habits? We change our habits through repetition. We change our repetition. We change our action, right? Through our mindset, okay? And there's 3 things I want to talk about real quick, so stay with me. There's environment, your belief, okay? Your environment right now, guys, okay? I'm not trying to offend you, but I became an alcoholic because I hung out with a lot of alcoholics. I gained 100 pounds, right? I was almost 300 pounds because I hung around with alcoholics. On the weekend, I binged, I ate I went out to eat all the time. I was doing what my environment was doing. Plain and simple, as humans, we start to conform to our environment. Who you hang out with most, you become. I became my environment, okay? And number two, belief. You gotta change your belief, your perspective. Everything is a perspective, guys. Everything is a perspective. Your perspective on food, your perspective on tracking. You may track your money, but why don't you track your calories? Your body and your mind is the most important two things that you have in life. And if you can just broaden your awareness around how many calories you are actually consuming through learning the skill sets of just tracking, right, and building those habits, everything in your life will change. What is your perspective around cardio? Most people's perspective around cardio, I see it all the time outside in my neighborhood, running around the neighborhood, right? They're doing this for years, months, and they still look the same. They have this perspective, this belief that's holding them back. You can just simply go for a walk, track your steps, progressively overload your steps week to week, month to month. Protein, what is your perspective around protein? I hear a lot of people, listen guys, I've been in the fitness industry for over a decade now. I've opened many successful gyms and I've worked with thousands of people. I hear the same excuses over and over and over. The lies and the myths are still floating around, right? There is no and if or buts. You need to eat enough protein to maintain your lean body mass or to build muscle, right? And by eating more protein, you're gonna be fuller, you're gonna be more satiated. It's gonna help you eat less calories. You just gotta learn to season your food, spread out your meals, season the food the way you like it. There's so many different ways to strategize food, but you have to learn, and you learn by doing. You learn by plugging into someone that's already been down the road that you wanna go down. And again, strength training, keeping it simple, okay? Keeping it simple, progressive overload. There's so many videos out there. You can do push-ups, you can do squats, but build some muscle, guys, right? The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you're gonna burn at rest. You're gonna increase your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, okay? The last thing you wanna do is lose a bunch of weight and be a skinnier version of you, still having a higher body fat percentage, but just being a smaller version, okay? So listen, take a look at your environment, guys. It's big time, it's everything. When I changed my environment, I changed everything. I got around people that were doing the things that I wanted to do, and guess what? My beliefs started changing. I actually started to believe in myself. I started to self-development. I started to understand that if you can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. I just got to go through the process. The process is inevitable, right? To build muscle, the process is inevitable to lose weight too. There is no and if or buts. It's got to be done. If someone's losing weight, the process is being done. Now, the strategy on how they're getting there is different. But the process of being in a calorie deficit over time is happening. If they're building muscle, the process is happening, inevitable. It has to, right? They're progressive overloading, they're strength training, they're going to the gym, they're eating protein, okay? There is no and if or buts. Now, the speed at which you lose weight or build muscle depends on how much fat you have to lose, or are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced person going into fitness? Listen, a new person going into fitness can look at weights, can do push-ups and build muscle pretty quick, right? Because it's a new stimulus. Someone that's an intermediate or someone that's advanced, they probably already have a foundation. So it's a little bit different. But listen, guys, I hope you're hearing what I'm saying in this video because I truly want to help you, right? And give you the tools so that you can do it yourself. But you got to take a look at your environment. You got to take a look at your belief system. What is your perspective? Is there anything that I'm saying to you right now that you're fighting or that's triggering you? Because listen, guys, everything is good and everything is bad depending on how you're looking at it, okay? But the problem, one of the biggest problems right now is that you're not making a decision, okay? And I don't know if you're new to this, if you're already on your journey, or if you're fearful. I don't know what's going on, but you're not making a decision probably based on your environment and your belief system, okay? And you're just interested right now. And when people are interested, like I once was, you're interested when you feel good. You're interested when you're motivated, and you're never gonna get results like that, guys, okay? You've got to commit, okay? You've got to commit to being non-circumstantial, right? Regardless of circumstances, this is what you're gonna do. You gotta put walls up around your mind. Don't let your friends affect you. Don't let your environment affect you, okay? And if they are, you gotta start plugging into a different community. And down below, if you guys want to join a free community, if you guys want to have live calls where you can ask questions, listen, my goal is to give you all the answers you want. If you want to work with me, that's a separate conversation. But I'm going to give you all the answers that you need to do to be successful. And you got to change your mindset, environment, and belief system, and not making a decision or holding you back from doing these 4 simple things. So stop scrolling so much. Stop looking for the perfect way, okay? The perfect way is gonna happen whenever you have more understanding, guys. We got to understand that scrolling through all the videos in YouTube and Instagram, that is a habit, right? It's an addiction. It's a comfort addiction. Okay? Plug into one chef, one trainer, one coach, and then start to take action. And more important, look at your environment, look at your belief system. What is your belief? What is holding you back? Remember, all of your beliefs, your perspective on protein, on fitness, on everything, it came from your environment. It came from someone else. Everything that you know, you picked up from someone else. Okay? And it is up to you to shift your perspective and say, hey, I can do this. I am enough. I can do whatever. This guy lost 100 pounds. That person did. That person did. You can too. Okay? And you got to take personal responsibility, right? When you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, no one's coming to save me. No one's going to do this for me. Listen, and you truly take personal responsibility, like you'll start to change. Okay? So plug in. Okay? Look at your environment, your belief system. Pay attention to these 4 things. Keeping it simple, guys. We got to get rid of the resistance. You're right here. You're unhappy. Right? We listed all the different things that are going on right now, right? Not happy when you take off your clothes, not happy when you look in the mirror, not confident, all these things. You want to come over here. You want to be in the best shape of your life. You want to feel confident. You want to make more money. You want to have a relationship. You want all these things. We've got to eliminate the resistance. What is holding you back from just paying attention to these 4 things? Again, it's easier than texting to just log your food or to go for a walk, right? You're battling your belief system. You're battling your environment. Or else, why wouldn't you do these things? The resistance, right, is your environment and you, your belief system, your perspective on things. So listen, I hope this video helped you. Listen, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to help you guys. Down below, if you want more information, join the community. If you want more information, watch YouTube. Comment down below. What are you struggling with? What is not making sense? This is kind of quick. You can pay attention to some of my other videos, right? But what are you struggling with? I want to make another video, but I need to know where you're struggling most, right? So I can help you with a strategy to get there, okay? So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.